Welcome to my countryside-inspired collection, exploring the beauty of natural living, from the quiet moments in nature, through to the rhythms of rural life. In this episode we delve into mental health. Mental health in the countryside is shaped by a mixture of beauty and solitude. Out here, the world moves at a slower pace. The air is clearer, the skies wider, and the land stretches out in quiet, open spaces. For many people, this brings a sense of peace that's hard to find anywhere else. Nature has a way of softening the mind, easing tension, and reminding us that we're part of something steady and enduring. But rural life also comes with its own challenges: long distances, quiet days, and moments when isolation can settle in more deeply than expected. Living in the countryside means spending a lot of time with your own thoughts. Some days, that feels like a gift. A walk through fields, the sound of birdsong, the rustle of wind through hedgerows, all of it creates a kind of natural therapy. Studies have shown that being in nature reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and helps calm the nervous system. Even a short walk can clear the mind and bring a sense of balance. The countryside offers this freely, every day, in every season. But there are days when the quiet feels heavier. When the nearest neighbor is miles away, when the roads are empty, when the weather closes in and the world feels very still. Isolation can creep in quietly, especially during long winters or difficult times. It's something many rural people understand deeply, the way silence can be comforting one day and overwhelming the next. Mental health in the countryside means learning to navigate both sides of that quiet. This is where nature becomes more than scenery. Wildlife, weather, and the land itself become companions. The sight of a robin on a fence post, the hum of insects in summer, the soft lowing of cattle across a field, these small moments remind you that you're not alone. The countryside is full of life, even when it feels still. Watching wildlife can lift the mood, ease loneliness, and bring a sense of connection. Studies have shown that observing birds and animals can reduce feelings of isolation and increase well-being. Their presence offers comfort in a way that feels gentle and natural. The seasons also play a role in mental health. Spring brings hope, new growth, longer days, and the return of color. Summer offers warmth, activity, and the chance to spend more time outdoors. Autumn brings reflection, a slowing down, and the beauty of change. Winter, though quiet and sometimes challenging, offers rest and stillness. Living with the seasons teaches you that everything moves in cycles, that difficult days pass, that brighter days return, and that change is part of life. This rhythm can be grounding, especially during times of emotional strain. And then there are the people, the countryside community that may be spread out across miles, but is often closer in spirit than many realize. Rural neighbors look out for one another in quiet, meaningful ways. A wave from a passing tractor, a chat at the gate, a check-in after a storm, or a shared cup of tea when someone needs company. These small acts create a sense of belonging that is deeply important for mental health. Even when houses are far apart, the connections between people can be strong. Country folk understand the value of support. They know what it means to rely on each other during harsh weather, busy seasons, or difficult times. They know the importance of checking in, offering help, and being present. In many rural communities, people form bonds that feel like extended family. Not because they see each other every day, but because they understand the same way of life, the same challenges, and the same quiet joys. Living in the countryside also encourages a slower, more mindful way of being. Without the constant noise and rush of urban life, there's more space to breathe, to think, and to feel. This can be healing, but it also means emotions have room to surface. Mental health in rural areas is about finding balance, using nature as a source of strength, leaning on community when needed, and recognizing that you don't have to face everything alone. Even in the quietest corners of the countryside, support can be found in many forms. Sometimes it's the land itself, the comfort of familiar pathways, the steady presence of wildlife, or even the reassurance of the seasons turning. Sometimes it's the people, neighbors who may live miles away, but who understand the value of checking in, offering help, or simply sharing a moment of conversation at the gate. Rural communities have a way of holding each other up, often without making a fuss about it. A lift into town, a message sent after a storm, or a shared loaf of bread, or a dozen eggs left on a doorstep. These small gestures carry a weight that goes far beyond their size. They remind you that even when you feel alone, you're part of something, a network of people who understand the same landscape, the same challenges, and the same quiet joys. Mental health in the countryside is about balance. It's about embracing the peace that nature offers, while also acknowledging the moments when solitude feels heavy. It's about reaching out when you need support, and offering it when you can. And it's also about letting the land steady you, letting wildlife lift your spirits, and letting community, however spread out it may be, remind you that you belong. And through it all, the countryside teaches a gentle truth, that life moves in cycles, that difficult days pass, and that brighter days return. Connection can be found in the smallest moments. A bird singing outside your window, a neighbor waving from across a field, or a walk to clear your mind and bring you back to yourself. Living close to nature doesn't remove life's challenges, but it offers tools to face them, space to breathe, beauty to soften the edges, and a community that understands the value of looking out for one another. And in that combination of land, wildlife, and people, many find a sense of grounding that supports their mental well-being in ways both quiet and profound. A place of ease, comfort, and the assurance of the natural world. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you gained some inspiration from our look into natural living. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you.